Airbnb is the one side hustle I swore I'd never do. I also said I would never keep reptiles again, so basically I have no money or integrity. So we're doing Airbnb. On the surface, it sounds like a bad idea, but when you dig deeper into the idea, it still sounds like a bad idea. But my worst ideas often have the best outcomes. This has been suggested to me for over 2 years, but it was always pitched to me as just rent 1 or 2 of your bedrooms the way you did to Discord friends and Craigslist strangers. That way I can continue living here while generating cash on empty rooms. But if I'm going to turn my personal space into a commercial rentals property, I'm going all in. Think about it this way. I could rent my rooms for however long it takes to get the money I want, or I could rent the entire crib all at once and cut my time in half. Get it over with, rip off the band-aid, and make more money. Also, think about Turo. When I was renting Teslas out on Turo, I had never actually rented a car before. But I've rented probably 30 Airbnbs the past few years. And so instead of going in blind, although I've never been an Airbnb host, I do know what to expect. I have more concerns than I can count. The biggest initially is just is anyone even gonna rent this property? But to my surprise, there are Airbnbs just miles away from me, and they have dozens to hundreds of reviews, and they're pretty similar properties, like a house just in a suburban neighborhood. When it comes to Uber, DoorDash, Instacart, all the big regular money-making things in this area, most of the action comes from the 3 main college campuses, the International Airport area, and the Research Triangle. People travel into these areas every day, and they're littered with Airbnbs. However, even if my property requires a little bit of extra driving, there seems to be a genuine market for full single-family homes at affordable rates. So I'm not in a touristy area, but based on reviews of local rentals, most people who stay in my part of town are groups of people, like families and friends, wanting cheap Airbnbs to visit other family and friends. I ran down to Target to grab some Airbnb essentials, like the quality TP, and oh, they got my favorite ice cream bars. So this way we're passing Moe's. I mean, I only got the ice cream bars and Moe's because I was out on a business trip, so I think they've pretty much fallen to the Airbnb expenses. I actually haven't had a house key for over a year. So initially I had 2 house keys when I purchased the house. One was inside and the other is in this lockbox. I was never given the code to this lockbox. I asked the seller as well as my real estate agent, and neither ever responded. After I bought the house, everyone ghosted me. So there's a key in here to my door that I've never had access to. And so what I started doing was I started from 0 and I just went one at a time, counting upwards, hoping eventually I would figure out the code. I stopped at 811 out of 9,999. However, after Milo, the squatter roommate, left, I got this lock rekeyed. Now what I didn't realize is this is a quick set lock, which means all you have to do is stick the old key in, turn it, and then you can rekey it to whatever you want. I didn't know that. I paid a locksmith. He gave me 1 new key. He kind of scammed me a little bit there, because it was like $200. It was the equivalent of getting your blinker fluid changed during a mechanic. The mechanic totally just takes advantage of you in that context. I feel like that's what the locksmith did to me. But anyway, he gave me a key. I made a copy of it. I gave 1 copy to David, my 4th or 5th roommate, and 1 copy to Claire, my 3rd roommate, and neither of them returned them. So they can both unlock my door. They could both come here anytime and unlock it. I can't unlock my front door. Anyway, all that to say, Airbnb is best with a smart lock anyway. This one you can add and delete codes whenever you want. I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I finally deal with the not having a front door key situation, and I'm also just gonna take off this deadbolt, or not deadbolt, this lockbox. I guess the reason I felt like I got scammed by the locksmith was he asked me what kind of lock I have before he came. I said it's a quick set, and he was like, does it have this notch? He asked me to describe it. Basically, he knew exactly what the lock was before he showed up. And so on the phone, he could have said, oh, that's a quick set. All you do is stick your key in, turn it, and then you can rekey it however you want. But instead, he said, all right, that'll be $200. And then he showed up. So anyway, I technically got what I paid for, which is a rekeyed lock, but I'm still salty about that. I'm wondering if I can just slide this off. After 5 years, the lockbox is not gone. It's still on there. Oh, there we go. Woohoo! Oh wow, it looks so naked now. I actually really hate smart home stuff. I used to be into it, and then I used it for years, and I was like, wow, this stuff sucks. Everything requires different apps. Like sometimes there's apps where they can like collaborate. The worst thing is I have a smart garage door, so it's like, oh cool, I can open my garage from my phone. It gives me an ad every time I want to open my fucking garage door. There's not even like an ad-free subscription. It's just, hey, you get to look at advertisements while you open your garage door. I don't know, man. So normally I would not get a smart lock. I actually really don't care about smart locks at all. Or Airbnb, yeah, I guess you kind of got to do a smart lock. I like the buttons, actually. It feels sturdy. It's not gonna match my house at all, it's black. Finally, you can actually see where the previous homeowner had a smart lock, and then they took it with them. I thought I was gonna get to keep it, admittedly, when I bought the house, but then I show up on closing day and the freaking smart lock is gone. So it came with non-rechargeable AA's. Seems kind of wasteful, but okay. I'm so cynical about smart locks. I guess I just have this fear that like if I ever get locked out, it's gonna make me watch an unskippable 30-second ad before I can unlock my door. Speaking of ads, Go Herping channel members get ad slots I'd normally charge brands $500 for $5. This is Mike's selling place on eBay. He sells broken shit, more broken shit, and even more overpriced broken shit. But guess what? He takes offers. I'll link his eBay below, where you can browse, and if nothing catches your eye today, save him as a seller to see what he lists in the future. Throwback to when my squatter roommate took the lock out of my door so that it couldn't get locked anymore. It was the back door though. I forget why she did that. Oh, I remember why. She kept letting her cat out the door, so she'd leave the door open, and then the indoor cats were gonna get out. I decided to take the key out so she couldn't keep unlocking it, because there was no physical unlock, you needed a key on both sides. And so her solution was to disassemble the entire door from the inside. Man, good times. Cool. Okay, it turns out, I gotta give them credit here, if the batteries die while you're outside, there's a USB-C port on the outside that you can temporarily power it with using a power bank or cable. So that's kind of clever, I guess. No, man. There's ads. My smart lock has ads. Fuck. It's just like my garage door. Now I get advertisements when I open my garage door and my front door. Wow, a vacuum. I can get $100 off a vacuum cleaner. Let's go to the prize wheel. Whee! Does your front door have loot boxes? I don't think so. It's not even set up yet. I had to go through those ads just to set up my device. It's setting up my lock. I can't believe my front door has loot boxes now. It's so fucking over for gambling addicts. Okay, I have to calibrate my lock. I bet in the 2020s we're gonna have flying cars. I have to calibrate my front door. My front door has a software update available. I'm not doing anything. It's just like getting like semi-erect and then a little bit flaccid, and then now it's got like a half chub. I don't know what's going on here. But it says, congratulations. My front door is up to date. Very exciting day at Herp House. Let's test the app. Unstable device connection. My router is 8 feet away. No, it's right there. My router's 3 feet away. I forgot I moved it. Oh! Door is jammed. Please check your device. Front door locked. Okay, so now I can create as many pins as I want. So I guess before each person, I just put in a unique pin. Mission success. I mean, if you had any question over whether this was a sponsorship, I guess The fact I already hate this lock shows that it's not a sponsorship. Next up, we got some quality goods. None of that cheapo toilet paper. I hate when I go to an Airbnb and it's like falls apart. I have bidets, but anytime I have guests over, they're like, what's that device? What's that contraption on your toilet? And I'm like, it's a bidet, it sprays water on your ass. And they're like, oh, I don't want to use that. Like, okay, stinky butt, do what you want, I guess. But anyway, now they got both. Soft toilet paper, it's like shedding stuff everywhere right now. I don't know why. And bidets. Okay, update, I just came back. What the hell is this? I'm pretty sure I grabbed the exact same pack of toilet paper at Target that I always grab. This is what's currently in my bathroom. This is a brand new unopened roll. Am I the victim of shrinkflation? But it was the same price. Oh my goodness. First I have loot boxes on my front door, and now I have shrinkflated toilet paper. Society is crumbling. Okay, so this bed is lacking pillows. I'm hoping these are pillowcases. Yes, they are. All right, I do have pillowcases. I did get some kind of cheap pillows. They were like $4 each. But I have a bunch of different style of pillows around the house. So usually when people come over, I just say, pick what you want. We got thin, medium, thick, girthy, everything in between. And also, if you're watching this, statistically, a lot of you should probably just throw away your pillows by now. If you're watching this in bed, turn on the light, take off your pillowcase, see how much yellow is on that pillow. Maybe go buy a new $3 pillow. I mean, hey, do what you want, but I actually do buy cheaper pillows just because, I mean, it's technically wasteful, but I like to replace my pillows more often than not. Maybe I should have gotten pillow protectors now that I think of it. Basically, I think pillows are as disposable as toothbrushes are, but a lot of people disagree. Hot take. There's a lot wrong with my house, but not nearly as bad as so many Airbnbs I've personally rented. Like, I rented one basement in Washington, D.C., and it ended up having almost nothing inside except for dirt and grime and a couch and a mattress. It was also an illegal Airbnb, so the host asked me to not make any noise, keep the lights off as much as possible, avoid lingering or loitering outside of it, and don't speak to the neighbors. He said if anyone approaches and asks who I am, just introduce myself as a friend of whatever the host's name was, and I'm not a guest. I rented a private room in New York City for $80 a night before fees and taxes, but in the living room was not one, but two other guests. We were all unrelated to each other. They were sleeping on air mattresses on the floor for $40 a night. Then I discovered my room had no air conditioning. The included fan in the room, just a little 4-blade, 5-blade fan, whatever, it kept tripping the breaker, but I didn't have access to the breaker panel, so the host kept having to reset the breaker for me. Now the question is, what would the adequate layout or feng shui be in here? Because I think you want the bed facing the door, but do I do the outside door or the house door? So like, should it go here or there? I don't know. An Airbnb I stayed at in Indiana had a broken toilet, so we had to use a bowl from the kitchen to fill with water and flush every time we used it. And many other Airbnbs were simply falsely advertising themselves through way too nice of photos or just outdated information. Throw back to moving Claire's stuff out and you all getting pissed at me for no reason. Why do you even use Airbnb? That's what a lot of people ask me. Most of my stays have been good, but also I needed a way to rent places before I turned 21 because the minimum age to get a hotel in a lot of areas is 21. So 3 years of me using Airbnb from ages 18 to 21, it got me used to the chaos. In fact, it actually started to grow on me. Every stay is truly as much of an adventure as the trips themselves, and I am a fan of Airbnb. I actually do prefer them over hotels. It's looking really barren in here. It doesn't look like a room. I mean, I still gotta move that stuff out, but it looks more like pieces of furniture put in the same room instead of an actual completed room. I mean, that's not gonna fit the bedding. I feel like it needs like a rug or something, but that's not in our budget. It's only one side table and it doesn't even match. And then, it's just an amalgamation of different furniture. I don't know. I thought it would look better. I think the reason I'm kind of actually confident about my house is because I totally would rent this house if it was in another state that I wanted to go visit, because it's perfect for a group of friends. It's just that the reputation of Airbnb consistently being worse than even the cheapest motels is true if you're like me and constantly rent the cheapest accommodations in whatever town you're traveling to. I'm guessing more expensive Airbnbs are probably fine, but don't ask me, I would have no idea. And so if I can attract guests like me to my Airbnb, like-minded people, I believe I can give them exactly what they want. I know what sets good hosts apart, even if their properties aren't as good. The biggest is fast communication, but when it comes to the actual home itself, it's all about attention to the little things I end up using every day. I don't really care if it's well decorated or has new appliances or some beautiful view over the city, but I am a genuinely happier guest when the host budgeted for fast Wi-Fi, nicer toiletries and linens, and a huge one for me is the quality of the mattresses. And of course, if the property's clean and well kept. My house now has 1 gig of fiber internet, 3 high-quality queen beds, and I do know how to scrub some surfaces. Okay, so what's the layout gonna be? Well, my master bedroom has historically been used for equipment and projects and storage, and more recently for reptiles. So for the first time, it's actually gonna be a bedroom. I'm swapping the reptiles with the current main guest bedroom, which is a smaller room. This used to be Claire's room if you watched my Craigslist roommate series, and after she was feeling harassed and threatened by my other tenant, I installed a lock on this door to protect her while she sleeps, as well as protect her property while she isn't home. I still have the lock on here with the key, so it's the perfect room to stow all my stuff away, anything I don't want guests having access to, including the reptiles, since it has a physical key. Then the second bedroom will have a futon and a queen bed, and the third room is my bedroom. I deliberated over this for about a day. My wonderful little loft room. I love this room. We put it together last year with brand new flooring and bedding and furniture. I mean, it's literally my personal... I'm filming in this bedroom right now as you listen to me. Which made me really reconsider doing the room for rent versus the entire house for rent. But it just feels like the wrong move. I think looking back, even if people sleep in my bed, I'll be happier that I maximize the earnings versus, keeping my space off limits. I gotta suck it up. I don't know. Ironically, my house is about as minimalist as your average Airbnb. It has enough basic furniture to call it furnished, but according to people that come over, I don't have enough to call my home homey. It's quite literally been described as looking like an Airbnb. Plus, my all-white beds and walls are often compared to hotels, and I have every appliance one would expect in a home. So I bet you, if it actually rents out, people will totally think I bought this property to be a rental property, not that I've been living here the past 5 years. I was thinking about moving my office just downstairs permanently, at least until Airbnb is over. I can't say that, it hasn't even started. I can't talk about it being over. But I really like working up here, and also now the other room is super hot because the animals are in it, and I just don't want the reptile room to be my office. I don't know, that's for later. But basically, for the photo, I'm gonna cut it out. Other problem is you can see it's pretty dark in here, even though it's 3 p.m. or something, because I have trash bags taped over my windows. The window's quite broken, if you've seen my other videos, and also I sleep during the day, so it's like a blackout curtain, because the window underneath looks really bad too. So my hope is nobody opens these curtains, but of course they're gonna open the curtains. It's freaking curtains. But for the picture, I'm just gonna hide the trash bags. I feel like that's good enough for the picture. And then, okay, after I take this picture, I'm gonna show you all of my concerns about the house. So, I mean, this room is my favorite in the house. I spend the most time here, of course, at my desk, and I really like it. I think guests would as well. First concern, it's really freaking weird that I'm gonna have my own, it's kind of hitting me. This bed is gonna be for guests. But I feel like I just have to, because I'm missing out on too much value if I don't include this room. Second concern, these stairs are unfinished. It doesn't do anything. I mean, I walk barefoot, I've never gotten a splinter. I just worry if people are really picky, they're gonna be the house is in shambles, but it's really not that bad. It's genuinely fine. Washer dryer will just be included. I mean, pretty great perk. I love when Airbnbs include a washer dryer because I don't have to pack as much clothes on a trip. So I definitely want to do that. There is no dining room. It's just an empty room, but I didn't like advertise it as a dining room. I did show this part, which is luckily we do have the herp table now, the herple, so that's good. Living room, everything is fine except mostly for these windows. I've stayed in Airbnbs with worse windows, believe it or not, so I mean, hey, it's not a luxury Airbnb here. Got a bit of duct tape. I'm a little worried people have a negative connotation with duct tape. Got the TV. Got the new smart lock installed. It's all good to go. Took down this poster. Okay, fourth concern. The lovely master bathroom does not have shower tiles. I mean, it has most of them, but there's a few missing. Basically, when I had roommates and when guests come over, nobody actually has ever used this room before. It was always empty or had just like gym stuff or whatever. And so both bathrooms are just for anyone to use. And so naturally everyone prefers the bigger shower. But all of this use, the tiles started cracking under our feet, which apparently is just they weren't installed right when the house was built. So I haven't used this shower in a couple months now since this happened. Is it bad? Okay, first question, is it bad for Airbnb guests to use this? Like, is this gonna mess up my house more if people are showering on grout? And then B, are they gonna complain if they're barefoot on sand? I don't know, but this is possibly what I've been thinking about the most because I have no idea what to do about it. I do not have time or money to replace those tiles. Everything else in here is good though. This room is a bit sparse, but hey, by Airbnb standards, it's got more than is necessary. It's got a desk. A lot only have a bed. It's got one side table, pretty good. And I guess we can just go straight outside from here. I quite like how this all looks. I mean, when I rent Airbnbs, I spend a lot of time out on whatever porches they have, if they have a porch. And I would be quite pleased if I came here with friends or family. I would totally be stoked for this. Hey, stoked, get it, fire stoking. I'd love the fire pits at Airbnbs. I'm gonna include some firewood, so that'll be all good. It's got a lot of seating. Sometimes we pull these down, sometimes we pull the hammock down, which means you can accommodate for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people all get seating around the fire. So hopefully this carries and they love it so much they won't think about the shower issue. However, the mosquito problem is really bad. So hopefully they bring some off or something. Maybe I'll add that as a recommendation in my like welcome message. Make sure you pack some off. Oh, a little concern, small concern, half squat rack. I don't care if people use it. I just like, what if they get injured? Is that a me problem? If they like add an extra plate and then it falls on them? Am I asking for trouble by having this out? I just don't really know what to do with it. Do I shove it in this room? I think I'm just gonna leave it though. I could take all the weights away and leave the squat rack. I'm not gonna even show it in pictures. So if they show up and they're like, oh, why is there a squat rack with no weights? It wasn't advertised as a gym. I might take the weights when we get a rental, if we get a rental, I guess. This bathroom's all good. So currently in the shower, of course, is my stuff. So I'll take my stuff out beforehand, I guess. Gonna be kind of a pain, but it's fine. And then I will have some stuff that I have for guests here. Oh, other concern, kitchen. What do I do with all my ingredients? Like I have all these ingredients. I'm fine if they use the pots and pans. Usually when I go to Airbnbs, they have pots and pans available and they're always respected and stuff. But I have chips, I have drinks, I have sodas. In here I have alcohol and stuff. I mean, kind of expensive drinks. I've got Celsius in there. I don't even drink Celsius. I have milk, Powerade, eggs. Like what do I do with all this? I have no idea. So I haven't even figured that out yet, but I mean, I don't really have time to figure all that out. We're just gonna see as we go, I guess. Seeing this just reminded me of upstairs, this closet where my safe is. Oh, it's very dark. All my clothes are in here. So am I gonna have to move all this? I don't know. I like having my clothes up here, but I think I'm gonna have to take it out and like stick it in the room downstairs. At least I don't have much clothes. That's all of my clothes, so that's easy. And one more thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to flip the garage door lock so that the lock is actually on this side so that it's similar to the reptile room. I can't believe I have a reptile room right now. How weird is that? Because this will be closed. It has all of my tech, camera stuff, computer stuff. I threw a couple items in here from the living room so I could take the pictures, a couple animals, and I have a key for this. So this will be the no access room for guests. Oh, and then this room is a bit sparse, but it's not too bad. I mean, it's a good like kid room, or just a big group is coming. You could fit 2 people on the bed and 1 person, small person, on the fold out futon. And I mean, that's the Herp B&B, that's the Airbnb. Yeah, it's time to list it, I guess. I always have a plan. It's just the plan rarely goes to plan. And I'm luckily able to pivot pretty quickly. Most of my adulthood has been figuring out how to make money without taking my clothes off, but much of the past few years has specifically been the game of financial catch-up. I basically built my initial adult lifestyle on a higher income than I have today, so I got used to certain spending habits and luxuries that hurt my wallet a bit more nowadays. One of my most recent schemes was giving in to years of people both begging and kind of demanding I go back to what made my channel grow the most, reptile keeping. Going back to reptiles came from about 2 weeks of daily brainstorming and low-key kind of some spiraling on what to do next. Airbnb was on the list at that time, but I landed on reptiles simply due to it having the highest likelihood of success. I accepted that, okay, my passion projects, like the things I truly love to do, they're just probably never going to work on my channel. Fitness, health, diet, electric cars and bikes, little adventures with friends, the things that bring me happiness and joy and fulfillment, most of my audience doesn't like. Asterisk, there's like 500 of you that actually really like it, but that's sadly not enough. So I was like, okay, let me go all in on what I hate, but will let me continue pursuing my passions behind the scenes. So reptiles up front, reptiles publicly, and then I can enjoy my cars and whatever behind the scenes. I mean, I had all these plans for 2026 summer. Like, I was really looking forward to like hitting my goal weights. I had more travel plans. I wanted to get into some more like sport related fitness things. I was gonna wrap the new plaid black because it was white at the time. I was gonna quit gig apps for good. I was coming up with some trip ideas with more people. Like, I had all these plans I couldn't wait to do, but it was less than a month into executing this reptile plan and then enjoying my life like when I'm not working, basically in the middle of May, that the pit in my stomach hit. I was unable to deny that this was not gonna work. The plan crumbled, and I just ended up with more debt, more animals, and a more confused audience who was less engaged than pretty much ever before. I haven't gone to any of my gyms since April. Like, I had to cancel all my memberships. I lost the weight and muscle I put on. My healthy diet has crumbled. I could no longer afford the time to go travel and hang out with the people I cared about, and I borderline crashed out as a result. Like, I know many people compliment me for being like super optimistic and always like white-pilled and stuff, but around March to May, I was having a bad time. So out of what some may or may not call desperation, I began making a series of decisions to try and keep from slipping farther. I immediately listed and sold my literal dream car and faced the reality of my tax situation. Both are things that happened in May, but I didn't share until pretty recently. But there was a third decision I made those same couple weeks. Airbnb was part of my plan B, or plan G or F. I don't know what plan letter we were on. It was part of my plan to fix my shit, get on with my life, and I had done the vicious negative YouTube cycle like 9 times already. I actually made a whole video about it, and so I knew that vlogging my car sale and vlogging my tax issues and vlogging my Airbnb were only going to feed this cycle that I was trying to escape. So my goal was to not have to post any of this, fix it all without ever revealing the herp struggle. And I may be kind of retarded, but I was at least smart enough to film all of this just in case the time comes where I'm like, I really wish I had filmed all that. Well, I did. And so all these decisions have led to today.